When it comes to the highest mountain of the world, you know the answer: Mount Everest. But when it comes to the dangerous and harder one, it's not Everest but K2. Compared to K2, Everest is literally a trek to the summit. At 8,611 meters, K2 is the globe's second highest mountain. There are 5 reasons why K2 is more dangerous than Everest. Mount Everest is in Nepal, where visas are readily obtainable and flights are relatively cheap. You won't be fatigued since you will be approaching Everest base camps on simple to hike dirt paths. You have Sherpas carrying all your gear and you stay in tea houses along the way. All in all, it's a relatively easy experience. In contrast to Everest, K2 is located in a challenging environment. Technically, it's more challenging to obtain the visas and get to Pakistan. However, things have been changed lately. The approach to K2 base camp is much more challenging than Everest base camp. You have to trek 80 miles on the Baltoro Glacier versus 30 miles in the Khumbu. The trek is technical, where you have a mix of glacial ice, snow and rock. There are no tea houses and trees. It's a walk on a very uneven glacier. So, even before you get to the mountain, you have to dig deep for strength of will and stamina. The likelihood of getting injured before you even reach the base camp is high. But the trek is absolutely beautiful in terms of mountain views. The routes on Everest are well laid out. It has gentler slopes and there are many zigzags, making the climb easier. There are only a few really difficult obstacles, such as the Khumbu Icefall and the Hillary Step. Apart from a few barriers, the ascent to the summit of Everest is not technically challenging. On K2, all routes are technically challenging and potentially dangerous to climb. The mountain is pyramid-shaped. It starts steeps and ends steeps. You will face a tough ascent from day 1 regardless of your chosen route. Each day is a tough climb on K2. The climb is much more technical, with mixed rock, ice and alpine climbing the whole way up. There are hard rock climbs in the middle of an alpine climb, such as the House Chimney and Black Pyramid. You will have to face the tricky bottleneck section, traversing below a massive hanging glacier at high altitude, where you are already oxygen-starved. Given the steep, icy and avalanche-prone terrain, falls are common. Some climbers fall even when attached to peaks rope, but most are not clipped in. A mistake, or perhaps unavoidable, slipping down icy slopes where self-arrest is not an option. While rescue missions above 6,000 meters are challenging regardless of where you are, but having settlements close by helps. On Everest, there are 2 small towns within a day or 2 of the route, adding to the sense of security. On the other hand, K2 is remote and a solitary mountain. If you get into trouble there, it will take a long time for anybody to reach you safely. Rescue missions are expensive and run by the Pakistan military. It can cost about $30,000 to get a helicopter to and from K2 base camp. This point is intertwined with the previous 2. Because Everest is so popular, There are many companies with paid guides that take people up the mountain. As a result, the popular routes have fixed routes, making climbing easier. Paid-for tour participants are often called short route since they are linked to a Sherpa using a short route to reach the summit easily. In contrast, K2 is not much popular due to its remoteness and difficulty. There are no fixed routes and short route clients. Team members must be experienced and skilled mountaineers who add to the team success. K2 is located further north than Everest. K2's weather is notorious for its unpredictability and sudden development, trapping climbers high and steep slopes. You never know what you will face, so you can't count on a lull in the weather, giving you the window you need to reach the summit and get back to safety because it could change any moment. The weather is extreme and vicious. Even a clear day on K2 can turn into a tragedy at the turn of the wind's direction. High winds can develop, sweeping climbers up the high ridge. Avalanches are much more common on K2 than on Everest. The weather has been notoriously difficult to predict, and many deaths have occurred as a result of weather surprises. For these reasons, a successful ascent on K2 depends much more on luck than competence. When you look at a list of K2 deaths, you will notice some highly accomplished mountaineers, which is terrifying and makes K2 more dangerous than Everest. Thank you all so much for watching.